Okay, here we are again. For the last time with this game. What's up?
So when the timer goes off, I take it off the heat, right?
Yeah, when the timer goes off, take the soup stock and the vegetables off the heat. Put it on one of these small burners so it's off the heat. Turn the heat off on that one. Put the water on that to boil, the same one that you just had the soup on to boil. And then when it's boiling, put in the noodles and cook the noodles for however long it says on the bag.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't dump the hot water too quickly when you do it because it's ready.
You hear me? Don't dump the hot water too quickly in the sink when you do it because it kind of jumps. Don't want it to splash. Okay. Just get me if you need me. Yeah. Okay. Whew. What a day. Alright, so we'll listen through the main theme one more time. And then we'll get started with the beginning of the end. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Double checking my volume because I had it down earlier. Because I was recording the next stream through, the stream notifications for the next stream through, which is going to be starting tomorrow. So that'll be fun. But we're not there yet. We got to get through this first. And this will take about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we'll get there one step at a time. I should open my notes while I'm waiting. I don't need them terribly badly today, but they're probably useful. Just in case I need to remember how to make certain things. Let's see. It should be good. Okay. Okay, here we go. You know, looking at my Twitter feed and everything else today, a lot of people that I know have actually taken the day today to finish up some of their projects that they've had going for a little while. So if I want to, you know, continue the trend and not disappoint the trend, I suppose I'm going to have to make do today and finish this up. but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We don't have too much left to go. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the final episode of Final Fantasy Legend 3, the Stream Edition. Last time, we did a little bit more exploring around the Pure Land. We found out that we needed to go to the underworld to disable the barrier around the island of Goat so we could assault Zagor's castle and take the fight to him and the water entity after we find the advanced party. And we found some of the advanced party already. We have yet to find Sol, but we found Borgin as well as Dr. Quaser. So we haven't found Jupaya and we haven't found Sol. We got to find them at some point, but we'll figure that out in a little while. For now, all we got to do is continue through here and bump our heads on all of the platforms that we find so that we can eventually make our way to the center of the ruins, where apparently this guy named Agron, another water entity fiend, is just having a grand old time being a dickhead. And we gotta go stop him, so that's what we're gonna go do. Get a magic potion right here. Hi, Cole. Is the food okay up there?
About as good as it can be.
Well, how long's it got left?
Oh, it just finished.
Okay, so
I was waiting for it.
so are you gonna do the noodles later, or are you
Yeah,
gonna do them?
but
Okay.
I'm just chilling down here for a bit. Go upstairs, eat my lunch, have the noodles.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna do this and also talk about the fact that I almost didn't make it to today's stream. Figure I waited until you were coming down because we were gonna come down about it.
If it gives the stream any indication, I've had to dip into my cream soda supply just to get through the day.
Oh boy, you know that's a bad thing whenever that happens. Yeah, so
Diabetes.
So my father and my brother got into a minor fender bender about 2 hours ago, roughly. Actually, more like an hour and a half ago. We weren't sure exactly how good, bad, or in between everything was, but found out recently that they were okay. Everything is fine. They will be fine. They're just getting checked out at the hospital to make sure that they're all okay. Bit of a spook, evidently, but yeah, it's fine. We'll be good.
To get my side of that story, I was practically dragged into the car by my mother, who nearly gave me a heart attack while I was in the car with her.
Yeah, I mean, she was driving like crazy, so...
And unfortunately, a trait that runs in the family is, regardless of how sympathetic you try to be to somebody in our family or try to keep them calm and day, it seems like the panic and the anxiety just, like, completely ignores all signs of logic.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to rationalize those sorts of things so that I don't end up, causing any problems, but... Hey, Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? Like I said a minute ago, I had a minor scare today. My father and my brother got into a minor fender bender just outside of where they both work, but they are both okay. They're just at the hospital right now getting checked out. They will be fine. And I was thinking I was going to have to cancel the stream as a result, but I did not. So we're here. We're doing this, and that actually reminds me, we got a dark crystal. How many light crystals do I have? Let's see.
And much to nobody's
Have
surprise,
8.
regardless of
Okay,
whatever everyone
so I
says, my
think
dad
we
continues
should
to
have
prove
enough.
that he has 9 lives.
Yeah, so this is also
Oh.
the same my dad, who busted his hip pretty badly. Did I tell the stream about that? That he broke his hip? I'm pretty sure I told the stream that he broke his hip a while ago, a few months at this point ago. He was working up on a roof. How do I get down from here? Oh, there we are. Okay.
There's stairs.
Yeah, I didn't. My brain was not working.
Your brain is trying to play 4D chess on a 3D board.
Uh-huh. It just doesn't work because half the board doesn't exist. Still trying to recover. Yeah, hopefully you get better soon, Conker. Hopefully it all works out for you as well, because Conker messed up his shoulder, as I'm sure you read on the thing there.
I sympathize excruciatingly.
It's ridiculous, man. Everybody's falling apart right now.
Well, at least my
But-
legs were functioning properly now, instead of growing gets up to paste.
There we go. Okay, we're good. We knocked on wood. We're good.
Are you sure this is wood?
I mean, knock on your head if it's not. There you go.
That's wood.
That's wood. So yeah, we're just gonna do what we can while we're here. I don't need cyborg parts ever again. We will be doing transformations today, a couple of them, but we need to get Arthur and Sharon to level 31 before we do that. How's that cream soda?
Oh,
Hey! Next.
I see it. It was the first number.
You know what else is there in his EXP? 3 times that. Oh, that's funny. yeah, so it's just been a day. We're all trying to process what's been going on, and so it's just if I'm a little more erratic than usual today, that's why. I apologize in
I'm
advance.
sitting over there trying to tell my mother to calm
We
down.
can't get over there
as
yet.
she's flying down the road with Mach speed, and I'm sitting there with my coat half on, none of my lotions on my face, my skin literally turning to dried paper.
Because you didn't put your lotions on. But I told you, you need to start doing it where you put your lotions on, like, later in the day.
I know, it's just, when I wake up in the morning, I can only survive so long without putting lotion on my face, because then my nose starts to dry out, my face starts to dry out. It's awful.
So we have 8 dark crystals. So we need 1 more light crystal, and I can make everything that I need, and obviously the other fire crystals, plural? I think there's 3, or 2 more, rather. Can I jump over this? Nope.
Oh, no sodium, no caffeine.
Well, that's nice. Let me just keep drinking it, though.
I can drink this guilt-free now.
Well, that's nice. I don't want to do this. Yeah, I'm going back to the single target strategies that we've been using. It's, it should work okay for us. And then you do that. There'll be 1 succubi, sphinx, excuse me, left alive. Never mind, there'll be more than 1 because I got confused.
Confuzzled.
Yes. But we'll be okay. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of the mage armors just yet, huh?
You
Oh
know,
well.
And on the subject of soda, I just realized you still have that orange soda that's been aging in the fridge for like 3 years now.
Not 3. It's been in there for like 10, bro.
Bro, you should just crack that open and drink it.
I probably will one of these days. Let's see if we can use that 4 heads talent. I've never seen what the skill looks like in this game, so let's check it out.
Assuming it hits.
Yeah. And Gloria should go next. Yep. Yep. Okay, so it's basically the same animation as it had from Final Fantasy Legend 2. Okay. That's cool. Sadly, you're the only one here at home with a valid license. Mom has one, but not renewed recently. So if you need to go somewhere, guess who's driving? Oh, good. Yeah, driving with a busted up shoulder sucks too. I haven't had it happen to me specifically, but I have been like, the closest I can relate to that is being like super frickin' sore after going to the gym. So I can relate to that, and it's got to be worse than that for you. So I empathize with you. Hopefully it, or rather, I sympathize with you. Hopefully it
On the subject of
doesn't.
busted
Hopefully you don't have to
limbs-
work too hard
On the subject
while
of
you're
busted
resting
up
and healing.
limbs,
Yeah.
I pulled my shoulder last night, and I can sufficiently say that I have found something just as painful as pulling your hip.
There.
Ouch.
Is that execute on a body?
It's got faces on there though. Execute just has eyes.
Execute has faces.
Wait, I think maybe magnets.
Yeah, Magnemite and Magneton just have eyeballs, but the Execute has faces. These are fire fans! Guess what time it is? Time to flood the battlefield with AoE spells. And then... if you use freeze, you can only use it on either the left group or the right group, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll be fine, I think. Let's just do what we can. I mean, that's doing pretty good damage. The mage will die from all the AoEs, I think. Or actually, he'll die from that. Never mind. So now Dion will go after the other ones, and hopefully these fire fans will die after 3 AoE spells, he says. Hopeful, but knowing, probably, that it's not... Ow! Jesus, man! How much fucking HP do you have? Yeah, Explode does damage based on the amount of HP that they have, although I think it does damage based on max HP, not based on... what's it called? Not based on the amount of HP they have left, so... could you not Mighty Blow people, please? I'd like Curtis to live this turn. There we go. Yeah, these fire fans are no joke, man. They hurt, as Curtis's HP could plainly tell you. So... let's just take care of them, then. They'll be dead in a second. I hope. Good lord, man. How much HP, again, how much HP you fucking have? Just die. Okay, we got him. Good. Whew! Yeah, those guys are no joke. Probably should just run from those battles, if I'm being honest, because that's just not really gonna... that's not really gonna work in our favor if we keep, just barely not killing them like that, you know? Arthur, you can... do we need topping off? Yeah, Curtis needs topping off. There we go. Now we're good. But yeah, so in case you were wondering why people used the fire fans at any point in time as a team of 4 fire fans to beat the entire game, that's why. Because they hurt. But probably after this battle, we'll be level 31. Now, here's a little thing about Final Fantasy Legend 3 that you may or may not know about. See those pillars there? Usually when you walk in between pillars like that, that's an indication of some kind of flag that starts like a boss fight or a cutscene or something like that. So if you're about to walk into that, don't walk into it yet. First, save and use a tent and do all that stuff, and then go from there.
I don't know why Ma was panicking about me making those noodles so much. You think she'd want to make them, because pasta doesn't take that long to make.
Well, she's panicking about everything right now because she has to go to the hospital, make sure Dad and Steve are okay.
Also, my dad's a fucking lunatic. He's crawling around inside of his damn truck, scooping all this bullshit in his glove compartment.
Well, but the truck was totaled, though. Yeah, so the fender, it was, like I said, it was a minor fender bender, but the truck was totaled. Again, Steve and Dad are okay, so that's good. But the truck was totaled, so he had to get all of his stuff out of there, or else it would have been taken to the lot and pounded into small metal bits like the rest of his truck is about to be.
Oh, I know. It's just I don't want to talk about the gory details of what exactly happened to him and why I was pissed off at him for climbing into his truck.
Well, I know. I mean, he has an injury on his hand. He's going to need a couple of stitches, but you know.
More than a few.
But everybody else is. Steve was okay. He just got ejected from the front seat to the back seat. But everybody else is. I mean, he's okay. I don't know about the other driver. I feel bad because I keep saying, yeah, everybody's okay, but I have no idea what happened to the other driver, to be honest. But they had to have hit them pretty hard because the truck was on its side in the road. So, yeah.
Steven is abnormally okay in my...
But yeah, as you can see there, that was completely separate. I did not move us forward. The game did that. So don't walk in between the pillars till you're ready. So, well, your dwelling, Agron, happens to house the barrier machine, and that is the last thing we need to take the fight to Zagor and the water entity. And you, sir, are in my way. Ow. Oh, well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. He would put a barrier around himself, too, wouldn't he? Well, that's just great. Now what the heck do we do? Dion, what do you got? Okay, excuse me. Wait a minute. He put a bomb in your chest for a specific situation where we could not kill things with traditional methods. That doctor is a fucking maniac, man. Well, yeah, we will, but you don't have to... Okay. Couldn't he have just, I don't know, thrown the bomb at the barrier machine? I know it's in his chest, but like, good lord. Well, unfortunately, Agron, you haven't thought this through. You're insulting us, and you no longer have a barrier, and we have the Mystic Swords. You about to get fucked, son.
Oh dear God!
Oh, good, another Cthulhu monster. Fantastic. And he has the white spell, so that's fantastic. I'm about to get holied in the face. Well, it's fine. We should be able to heal that off without too much trouble.
Other horrifying Eldritch Cthulhu entities can throw light at us?
They do what they want.
Goddamn Eldritch abominations.
So let's just fast. So, yeah, you don't have Dion to help in this battle, so you got to kind of buff yourself up properly, and we'll just do our normal buffs. We'll soften and we'll fast and all that stuff. We could use Blitz, I guess, to turn his agility down, but he's slower than us to begin with, so it's not really a big deal, as you can see. Ow! These guys hurt! Let's see. How do I want to do this? I think I want to just have Curtis use Cure... Do I want to use Cure 3 or do I want him to use Fast?
Yes.
I think I'd rather him use Fast on Arthur to let him get completely buffed up. And then we'll have Glory use Cure 2 on Curtis to let him get done. We'll continue to soften, and then we'll be in good shape. Then we just gotta fast up Sharon, and we'll be good. That has reduced his defense by 30 so far, by the way. It does 15 each time, so... It's pretty good. But yeah, once we get buffed up, we'll be fine. I will need to have Curtis heal for a little bit, so the buffs might take a little while. Get used to seeing this, because when we play Nocturne, the remaster for the stream, the first like 4 to 5 turns of every battle, every boss fight are basically going to be buffing up. So he's debuffed enough. Let's just start dancing on him. Actually, I probably could use the Mystic Swords. So yeah, Cthulhu monsters indeed.
You know, it actually surprises me how many RPGs take after the whole start up the entire boss fight with like 19 buffs angle. Because, like, when I was playing Digimon Stories, I just applied my Shin Megami Tensei knowledge to, like, the game, and I just got through with no issue.
Mm.
In fact, I think I broke it.
Mm. Let's see if the Mystic Sword does more than Dance does. Bah! Oh, yeah. That does that does a little more. How about a little more? So, yeah, it'll basically just be that. We'll just, you know, we're all buffed up. We'll have Curtis keep using Cure B. How's his MP doing? Oh, he's fine. We'll just have... Although I should probably have Gloria get fasted as well. So she's good, but we'll just do this. This will be fine. We'll just have him use Cure B for a little while. We'll fast up Gloria, and we'll just let Sharon do a little bit of damage because, well, she can move. She doesn't have a buff for... Well, she's already used her debuffs, basically. She doesn't have to buff anybody, so... Ow! Acid! Stop it!
Stop it!
Okay, and now we just continue to fast, and I guess just use Cure 3 for your... Well, no, just you use fast as well, and then we'll have Gloria use Cure 2. That worked okay last time, so just do that. Keep our offense up a little bit, and once we're all buffed up like this, we should be in good shape. You don't have to do all of this buffing, by the way. It's not necessary at all. I just want to get it so that everybody kind of is able to do as much damage as they possibly can while Curtis does the healing and all that. Although he doesn't need to heal this turn, does he? Well, then I guess we're gonna... should I use Flare or should I use the Defense Sword? Let's see how much the Defense Sword does, and if I get the chance, I'll see how much the other one does. And let's wind up! And then smack him in the face with the rest, so... Yeah, Curtis won't do much because we haven't buffed him up, but that's okay. Meanwhile, Sharon, on the other hand, well, yeah, she'll be in good shape. Wind up, evidently not doing much. As you can see, the Mystic Swords are your go-to for damage. They just do so much damage to these endgame bosses because they're all vulnerable to them. So, and yeah, I really should get Flare for you so you can go from. You know what you could do is you could use Psych. Actually, that would actually be pretty helpful because that would reduce his magic, so he can't hit us as hard, which would be nice. Gives us a little bit of breathing room with the cures.
You know, of all the strange, horrifying forms for a boss to pick for itself, it picks some eldritch mass of faces. I understand the whole use fear against your enemy kind of thing, but you'd think something trying to, like, be ultra powerful would create a more cohesive form for itself.
Nah, he doesn't have to.
Like,
this is enough. Okay, so again, it does 0 damage, but it reduces his magic by 10, which we should notice if he uses white against anybody. Okay, well, even just that, I mean, he was doing 550 to Arthur, now he's doing only 500, so, yeah.
Can you imagine if these sprites were remastered? Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, the DS version, it doesn't remaster things, it puts them in the DS, you know, stuff, but, like, it makes DS sprites and models and everything, but, yeah.
I'm just saying, an animator could have a field day with some of these sprites. Like, can you
I mean,
imagine
I'll be
if it was
honest.
just a constant shifting form of faces.
I mean, I'll be honest. If they redid these games with the sprite work of, like, let's say Final Fantasy 1 or Final Fantasy 2 Anniversary, the ones on the PSP. Oh, you know I'd be buying that.
Somebody's home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they're already home.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, you can go upstairs in a minute then and take care of that. Start on the oodles of noodles.
What do you think the noodles aren't on? Because I thought we were eating snacks.
Well,
I'm gonna go see what's up.
okay. You go do that. Keep me in the loop. Oh yeah, Curtis can't use magic because he's silenced. Whoops. Oh well.
Off I go.
Yeah, I think it would be terrifying, but also awesome. I think it'd be pretty cool. So. Ow!
Alright.
You okay?
Yeah, Dad just got a little cut on his hand and his shoulder's a little sore, and that's it.
Yeah, I heard. They check you for a concussion and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're alright. She's
Good.
hurt worse than we are.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I heard, is that it
She took a direct hit, and Dad
Yeah.
sped up, so I want to take a direct hit.
okay, well,
on the
that's
side.
well, that's good. Good lord, man.
But that was one of our neighbors.
Was it one of the ones from down the street?
One of the Wootons, yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
daughter.
Oh my god.
She didn't stop at all. She just blew through the stop sign.
Yeah, like why would
Almost
you?
ran some girl over.
Why would
doing
you?
about 50.
Like why would you do that? That's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, do you have no thought
She almost
process?
ran a girl over that was getting out of the car. She didn't even try to slow down. And just blasted right into us.
It's freaking ridiculous,
Flipped the
man.
truck over. It spun.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you're okay,
Yeah,
but
we're
good
fine.
lord, man.
We got checked out. Dad's alright.
Yeah. Okay, so this might be a little interesting because
That's
Curtis
where she hit on the
is.
truck.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
But Dad sped up because if he didn't speed up, I
She
would
would, yeah,
right there,
right there. She
Right
would
in
have
the
hit
front.
right there. Yeah, that wouldn't have been
Where I
good.
was sitting.
Yeah, that
And
wouldn't have
then-
been good.
They had to drag the truck away from the telephone pole,
Yeah, I heard it was close. It almost
Yeah.
hit a telephone pole. That was the part I was most worried about.
so the sides all messed up.
Yeah.
And then, wait, the front, that's from them dragging it on the ground.
Well,
Dad-
it's totaled.
Yeah, it is. That's what George said. Dad's funny.
Yeah, it's totaled.
George.
So
George was like, yep, it's definitely totaled.
yeah. So yeah, we're. I'm getting an update as it's happening here, ladies and gentlemen.
We're
So
good.
it's everybody's okay. Everybody's fine. We're all home now. My brother and my father are okay. Dad had a cut in his hand. Did they give him stitches or?
Yeah, he got like 3.
Okay.
He's got to get him taken out in about a week, 10 days. To 10 days.
Okay. I was telling Cole on the phone. I said we're gonna have to like send him outside with like a football helmet and a life jacket or something.
Yeah, really. He wanted a
He's
new
just-
truck. Now he's gonna get one.
Yeah. Well, that's
He didn't
fair.
want to get it this way though.
Yeah. Well, no. Obviously, I mean, nobody wants to get a new.
Especially one
a new
of your
vehicle
former
this
neighbors
way.
was almost.
Yeah.
Killed you.
Almost runs into you, and yeah, that wouldn't be good. How much HP does this guy have? Good lord. Yeah. There's your stuff. Oh, there we go. He's
I
dead.
gave him an old, just in case.
Yeah, I've seen people drive like that too, and it's just you have no thoughts in your brain. Like you're not only running a risk for yourself, you're running a risk for everybody around you. And when you drive a car, you can't do that. Like I mean, you can do that, but it never ends well.
Yeah, not at all. She was probably like on her phone or something.
Oh my god.
That's why you don't use your phone while you're driving.
Well, yeah, and then there you go. There's another thing. There's your PSA for the day. Do not be on your phone while you're driving. We all leveled up from that boss fight. Let's get back to
Unless you
the.
got like Uconnect.
Well, yeah, unless you have like Uconnect or something to make it easier for you to not, have to do it
still
while
don't
you're,
really wanna do it while you're
doing that.
driving.
No, well, no. So. Oh, okay. I guess Borgen's back from his little survey of Mount Goat. Let's get back to the game now. We all leveled up, and then Arthur got hit one of his transformations. He transformed into Aishma, the most powerful air elemental beast at this level. It's not the one that I want, though, and we're going to fix that so that he is always the one that I want in just a couple of minutes. But Sharon's also level 31, so now we can install robot parts for her and get her up to Venus. So we'll do that in just a couple of minutes. Well, he did, but I mean, he's kind of dead now. Anybody got like a piece of him stuck to them anywhere? I know that's morbid as hell, but if we can take that back to Dr. Pulsar. Was it Dr. Pulsar or was it Dr. Bursky? I think it was Dr. Bursky. I get these doctors confused. They put him back together last time. They could do it again, so. Oh, okay, gotcha. So, basically, once we defeat the water entity in Zagor, we got to go through the hole that we saw around those, that has those 6 rocks around them over by Poral. That'll take us back out of the Pure Land into our dimension, so. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, Borgen's already done some reconnaissance for us. That'll help us out as we go to Zagor's castle, and Borgen will join us for it. Awesome. But before we go, we should probably grab the SOAR unit because we kind of can't get in unless we have the SOAR unit. So let's take a look at Aishma while it's here because we won't be looking at it after. Yeah, really solid stats all the way across the board. Evade isn't so good, but the rest is pretty damn good. It's just, it doesn't have the best abilities, and so we're gonna, or the best talents. I mean, it has W attack, but that's pretty much useless compared to the Mystic Swords, Circle Thunder, and Circle Mute. Nothing I particularly care about, though, because it just isn't as good as it could be, So, but the rest we'll take care of once we get out of here. Let's move some stuff here. The Katana can go there, and then the SOAR unit can go up here. Where's the E-Ray? There's the E-Ray. Okay. And we got a lot of stuff to do when we get back to the Talon, so we're going to do that in a minute. I'm going to sell the scarf, but we'll leave that empty space for something else that we'll be getting in just a couple minutes, because you may recall there were some caves that we could go to, or rather that we would be able to go to if it wasn't for the fact that we were blocked by the barrier before. But now that we're not blocked by the barrier, we can fix that. So let's exit. And actually, we can equip a few things too, because Borgin is going to be with us for a little bit, and he's level 40. So, yeah, he's in pretty good shape. He's got really high HP and MP. He's got more HP and MP than you would have for a normal mutant at this level, which, by the way, he's a mutant. So, I don't know. I'll bring it to him when I'm done. His evade isn't so good, but he's pretty solid in every other department, and because he's a mutant, any magic that he has will be amplified to ×2 power, which is pretty good for him because he has the white spell by default. He has Lightning X, which is pretty powerful for him. He also comes with Cure A, which we will definitely be making use of liberally for the remainder of the game, because if we don't need the damage, we'll need the healing, basically. For boss fights, him having Cure A is really nice because he can heal you for days and days that way. Let's give him some equipment, shall we? Let's see, how do we want to do this? I want to give him the Hakata helmet that I still have, I think. Yeah, there we go. Just maximize his magic, because he needs all the magic he can get so he can deal the most damage. Hermes shoes to give him some extra agility. And we want to give him, let's see, he's already got a scarf. Unfortunately, he comes with an accessory, otherwise I'd make him another one besides this. But we're going to get some decent accessories pretty soon. So, what else do we want to get for him? I need to get him some diamond gloves from Naya, so we'll be going back there in just a little bit. And then I need to create something for him in the shield department in just a couple of minutes. And he comes with Gungnir. It's not a mystic sword or a mystic spear, as it were, but it's pretty good. Also, now that the barrier's gone, we can call the Talon over here with the remote, so let's do exactly that. And now I could use a breather, because we've been away from the Talon for like a solid 2 hours worth of gameplay, so we need to sell things, we need to give people things, there's a lot we need to do, so let's go do that. First things first, let's go to Buzzy so we can restock and resupply on anything we need. I think I just need a tent. Oh no, I had a tent, so I don't even need that. Let's see, sell you the scarf, because we won't need that. And now let's bring a few things over to our friends here. First things first, let's take the Muramasa to Massa, whatever his name is, and he'll uncurse it for us, which gives us the Massamune, the second most powerful mystic sword in the game, which is pretty solid. And we're going to give that over to Sharon? Yeah, we're going to give that to Sharon, because she could use the little boost in power. So there we go. And I think she's almost done. Other than, basically everybody's almost done on their everything, with the exception of their accessories. We'll get their accessories in a little bit. And obviously with the exception of Borgin, because he's not quite done in that department either. The Rendal we're not going to need, but I'll hold on to it just because, let's see, the crystal, the emblem, and the katana we're going to be getting rid of, though, in just a minute. So let's bring these up here. Yeah, we'll leave it right there. That's fine. We still don't have the metal that we need in order to make that fancy shield with Juba, but we do have the 3 pieces that Massa needs to make a mystic sword. So he'll take our 3 treasures, go pound out some metal, needs some metal hammered, and he'll make the Emperor Sword, which is the 3rd most powerful mystic sword in the game. So if you didn't get the Muramasa, so you could uncurse it and get the Massamune, that would be your most powerful bet, but we have an even more powerful sword, because we have Excalibur on Arthur, we have the Massamune on Sharon, so we have the 2 most powerful ones, and we don't really need the other ones. So, and it's flat out worse for Curtis than the Defense Sword, because the Defense Sword gives him a whole bunch of boosts, basically, so in terms of stats. The Emperor Sword does not give those sorts of stat boosts. So we'll just hang on to it, I guess. No big deal. Let's go install the E-Ray and the SOAR unit before we do anything else, and then we'll head off to those caves we could see before that we couldn't get to. And after that, we'll make our final preparations in Naya, and then we'll head off to Goat Castle, on top of Mount Goat. So let's put the SOAR unit in. There we go. Let's put the E-Ray on. It's more powerful than even the laser, so it should be pretty solid for us. And now let's just see how fast this baby can go, if the game doesn't throw stuff at me. That's a fancy animation. Wow, look at that damage! 700 damage to everything? That'll do some good for us. Hustlers are cyborgs, right? So we don't need to fight them. If I find robots, though, I'm definitely going to fight them instead of... yeah, this goes pretty quick. It's almost a little hard to control in some cases. But we're looking for robot parts at this point. It doesn't matter which robot parts we find, as long as they're just regular old robot parts. In terms of what we need for Arthur to properly transform into his final transformation, we need fire or earth elemental beast meat specifically. We don't need monster meat, we need earth elemental or fire elemental beast meat, and that will get us exactly what we need to get him to his final transformation, and then we'll be good. But first, let's go in these couple of caves. So yeah, same layout as before. Just we'll look around, see what we can find. There's another fire crystal for us, so we'll obviously be putting that to good use in just a couple of minutes. This battle has 2 enemies in it that I actually would like to get monster meat from, so that's pretty good. Let's see, how do I want to handle this? I'm a little concerned that I won't one-shot things if I just AoE everything down, so I think I'm gonna... I don't think these hustlers have any particular things that they do. I don't think they're... Basically, I think that they can be put to sleep. I think they can also be stoned, but we'll worry about that later. We'll do this. We will dance. And then... Although, you know, with Borgin in the party, I probably could just AoE everything down. Because he has the white spell, which is it's non-elemental damage, just like the holy spell was in most of the early Final Fantasies, so I might be able to just AoE everything down. Let's find out. And then, Sharon, you can just dance on... Really, none of these guys are particularly threatening, so... And then use the white spell. Blast him! We might not even get to Arthur or Gloria's turn, though, depending on how much damage this white spell does. Okay, well. If they, you know, do that, then that's fine. I was gonna say, I wonder if where Borgin is exactly in the turn order. Yeah, as you can see, a little bit of damage he can do with that white spell. If we needed to kill anything, we can kill it now. Okay, so hustlers are robots, actually. Okay, well then that's all I need, because if we give this to Sharon, at level 31 and above, it doesn't matter what robot parts you give her, she'll always turn into the highest level robot. It doesn't change going up, so she'll turn into Venus, and that's exactly what we needed. In terms of what Venus does, well, it's going to get a little bit of extra stats. I mean, the 99's in every stat, and 999 HP isn't really all that surprising. The magic defense and magic evade is pretty good, though. And the most important part about her new form there, as you can see, she has Circle, Quake, Fire, Ice, and Tornado, but that's because she has Circle Change, which gives her complete elemental resistance. She no longer has Circle Para, but, well, I mean, I'll take that. That's a trade-off I'm willing to take. So yeah, that's 3 out of 4 done. Now we just got to get Arthur done, and we'll see if we can do that from here. This battle will actually get us what we need if the Lizard King or the Mage drops thing there. That is a call that I cannot answer because I will... It's my grandmother, and I apologize, Grandma, if you're watching, Nana, if you're watching. I can't answer you during the stream because I may not get off the phone with you for an hour. So, I'm gonna have to let that go. Sorry. I'll call her back after I'm done. She might even honestly just be checking to see what happened to everybody, so. Okay, well we don't need robot parts anymore. And if you give robot parts to Venus just by itself, it'll also just stay the same. It'll turn into Venus anyway, so. I don't actually know how that works though. Like, I don't know if it restores your HP or something or what, but we don't need anything in this battle, so let's see if we can get the heck out of here. Just mainly looking for beasts to take care of there. There's another Dark Crystal for us. I think that's the last one that you can find in the game. There might be one more, but not 100% sure. Oh yeah, and apologies to everybody if the phone ringtone was a little obnoxious because it was right next to the microphone. It's just... Okay, we don't need anything from this battle. I like the ringtone, me personally. Oh, I should mention, you can't jump over these bones, by the way. I don't know why, but you would think they'd just be in the ground right there. Okay, so this battle is nice and easy, and it also features an enemy, Dagon, that I can get beast meat from. So we're gonna do something about that. and that, and then that. Okay. And we'll see if Dagon drops beast meat for us. If he does, well then we'll have Arthur be in his final transformation, and then we'll go from there. With that ringtone, I don't think too many people will be upset. I'd like to believe that, Conker. I personally enjoy that ringtone, so yeah. I don't think it would upset too many people, but yeah, just in case, figure I might as well cover my bases. Ah, there's the metal that we need to make the shield. So now we can exit. We can go see Juba, and he can make the second best, actually, shield in the game for Curtis there. We need one more light crystal, and then we're in good shape in terms of making stuff for everybody else. So actually, I'm going to go over here and do a bunch of crafting real quick. This is a Game Boy game. It has a crafting system. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's okay. Juba, make this shield for me, will you, friend? And he's made the Aegis shield for us. Awesome. So that will come in quite handy for Curtis. I would pass the Samurai shield just straight down to Borgin, but he already has a scarf for Circle Petrify, for Circle Stone. Instead of that, though, I'm going to make him a speed shield. We need 3 light and 1 dark crystals. That's why I need a total of 9 light crystals rather than 6, because I'm going to make 2 of these, 1 for Sharon and 1 for Borgin. The reason why I'm going to make it for Sharon is because she no longer needs the diamond shield because she has Circle Change, so we'll do that. So let's make one of those. I'll probably give this one to Sharon for now, and then pass down the diamond shield. We'll give the Aegis shield off to... And even though it's not adjusting her agility above 99, it is giving her higher than 99 agility. It's just we can't see it because it's, you know, it's up there. Let's see. Diamond shield there. And then the Aegis shield, by the way, also gives Circle Stone. But it also, I think, increases agility by an additional 5 points for Curtis. And I think that's almost his final setup. He'll have more MP once we get him some better accessories, but I think that's his maximum HP right there, which is about where I expected it to be. So he should be okay for the final boss fight, as long as you're above, like... I want to say Gloria might not be okay because she's at about 900, and that's about where I would want to be in terms of HP to be safe, but we'll see. Samurai shield, we'll want to get rid of that. And let's craft a few other things while we're here. Why not? But we'll sell Samurai shield first, so there we go. 9,000 gold back. That's okay. The main thing that I want to make while I'm here, though, is we're going to want to make some armlets for people. 1 light and 2 dark crystals. I'm going to make a total of 3. I think we have enough to make them. Yeah, we do. Okay. How many crystals do we have left now? And we can make another flare now as well because we have 2 fire crystals. So, okay, we have 2 light and 2 dark left. I could make another armlet, but I don't want to. I just want to have 1 more light crystal so I can make a... what's it called? So I can make... another speed shield so I can give it to Borgin. So we'll do that. Can I make a speed shield for him now that I gave him the diamond shield? Like, can I unequip him with that and re-equip him with something else? No, I cannot. Okay, well then I guess we're gonna get something else in his gloves slot because I shouldn't have given him the diamond shield. To be fair, I was gonna give him diamond gloves anyway, so... What can I give him? I don't know if there's like a speed glove or something, but I guess the power glove would be fine. There we go. So we'll give him that, and that's... I was going to go to Naya originally and get him diamond gloves and then put the speed shield on him there, but, well, I messed up a little. That's okay. It'll give him a stat that he doesn't have at 99 yet, so it won't give him 99 agility, as I was hoping to give him, but that's not a big deal. So, what else? Should I give Sharon the armlet at this point? Now, we're going to hold on to the armlets for a little bit, because eventually we're going to find an accessory that will complement it perfectly in terms of our status protection, but we don't have it just yet, so we'll worry about that in a little bit. Okay, so now let's go make another flare for Gloria there, and then there we go. Awesome. So now we have another flare, and we'll get 1 more fire crystal in the final cave that we go visit, and then we'll use that to make Lightning X, which I think is fire and air, I want to say, for Arthur there. And I mean, he's got Excalibur, so he'll be fine. in terms of damage output. But Gloria, I would rather she have Flare, so let's give her that. And we'll take off her Wind spell now, because, I mean, she doesn't have any wings left, so she kind of can't really use Wind all that effectively. So, okay. And can I sell that, even though it's, like, lost magic? How does that work? No thanks. Okay, so, no, we cannot sell that. So I guess I'll just hold on to that, too. No big deal. Okay, now that we've done all of that stuff, let's head to the final cave, and then... Do I need to go to Naya to restock? I might not even need to, now that I gave Borgin all that equipment. No, I do not need to go there to give Borgin all of that equipment, because he doesn't need anything from Naya anymore. The only things we'll need are some tents. I'll probably, like, max out on tents before we go to Mount Goat, just so I have them. And let's see, the last cave I think is right there. Yep, couldn't get to this otherwise. And by the way, the that town over there where we came out of the underworld is called Dunmac, I think? Dunmac? Something like that. It's a little hard to steer with the SOAR unit here, but yeah, I didn't know what the name was last time, but I think that's what it was, so. Okay, last cave, and then we're good to go. Nothing down there. So 3 more treasures to find in here, and then we'll be good. And I will fight this battle because it has 2 beasts in it, so yeah, of course I will. Yeah, we'll just have Arthur and Sharon do the single target stuff while everybody else does the AoE stuff. And do that, and then we'll do that. So if we needed any other AoE, we have it now. It's not a problem anymore. Unless, of course, they dodge them like that one Hustler did. But, to be fair, it's not going to take much to get rid of them. I mean, we're doing like 1,600 damage per turn, so nothing in the game has anything that can do that. Okay, so we got Lizard King meat. Let me see if we get what we need. Yes, we did. Okay. So, what would happen normally is when Arthur reached level 32 there, he switched to the air elemental beast at level 31 plus when we got to level 31, which was Ashma. When he got to level 32, he would switch to Anubis anyway, and then he would constantly, every level, switch back and forth between Ashma and Anubis. But what I just did there was I gave him Earth Elemental meat, which, if I recall correctly, let me look at my notes. So he was air, and I gave him Earth. So what that did was that made him a Fire Elemental Anubis. Now, why that's important is because if he levels up now and goes to level 32, and he switches over to the Water Elemental Beast at this level, the Water Elemental Beast at this level is also Anubis, so he'll just stay Anubis forever now. And that's pretty good for him because Anubis is a pretty solid monster. Really good stats, really good HP and MP, not bad magic defense and everything like that. He'll get better magic defense as we get some better accessories for him. But the main things that we want are the things that he has for his abilities. He has Numb, which is an attack down ability. We'll probably need that. Sneer confuses, Curse Song curses. He has Stone Skin, which you can use like a Stone Gaze or a Stone Gas or something to that effect, but it's also a counter ability, so if something hits him physically, he'll stone them. He has Self-Fix, so that's 10% HP at the end of each turn, and he has Circle All, which is the reason why he has all of those resistances down there. He has complete resistance against all status ailments now, which is what Circle All does. It unfortunately doesn't give Circle Quake, Circle Fire, or Circle Thunder, but it does basically everything else, so I can't really complain. And that's it. We've done all of our transformations, so I'm going to save it because I'd rather have that all set and ready to go. Excuse me, just in case something dumb happens. And I don't think we got to fight anything else for basically the remainder of the game. Once we get into Goat Castle, I will fight things all the way through, and we'll probably end up like level 32 at the end game, but that's okay. We'll just run from everything else on the way. It's not like they can really do much to us anyway, unless they're, you know, fire fans. And here's the accessory that will perfectly complement the armlets that we have, the ribbon. Who am I going to give that to? Do I want to give it to Borgin, or do I want to give it to one of my actual party members? The ribbon gives you Circle All, by the way, just like what Arthur has, so I can't give it to Gloria because she gets shafted in terms of all of that stuff in the end game because of her lack of the ability to use equipment. I think I'll give it to Curtis, actually, because he's our cyborg. He could use it. So let's give him the ribbon. And yeah, as you can see, that gives him a lot more MP, a lot more magic, so he's in really good shape there. And it gives him a lot more magic defense as well, so that'll help him out quite a bit. And let's give him an armlet. It's like a safety bit in other Final Fantasy games. It protects you from instant death, so he can't be hit by Dispel or Dance or anything like that, and it won't kill him. And naturally, it gives him ridiculous magic as well, so there's his final stats. There's his final armor and everything, so... About how much longer till the end of the game? So this is the last cave we need to go to before we go to Mount Goat. And Mount Goat and Goat Castle will probably take about an hour. So I'm going to say like an hour and 10 minutes when we'll be done, I think. So that's about how long we've got left. Not too long. Probably will be either a short stream today or it'll be exactly on the dot of 2 hours. So, and it was probably for the best that I split it up this way anyway. Because yesterday I was like, yeah, we should probably split it up so that it's all about 2 hours, so... There's our last light crystal, so now we can go make another speed shield, although I don't need to make that now because, you know, I kind of messed up a little bit in that department, but that's okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be too long. When we're not fighting most of the random battles, it'll go a little quicker. And there's our last fire crystal, so now we can make Lightning X. So that's good. We'll exit after I double-check this little corridor. And then we will go buy some tents, and we'll head off. Okay, nothing down here. Curtis, let's exit. We'll rest up at the little birth unit on the Talon. We'll buy a few tents from Buzzy. We'll get up to 9 because there are no tents available to find in treasure chests or anything in Goat Castle, so not worried about that. And then we'll sell off any excess, and we'll be good to go. So, final setup for everybody. Basically, I think that's about it. I mean, other than the armlets and the ribbons that we're going to be getting, because you get a total of 4 ribbons in the game. And I'll still be giving the ribbons to Arthur, even though he doesn't need them because he has Circle All, because of the magic defense that it gives. He could really use the help. We need all the magic defense we can get, frankly, for the final fight, because the enemies in the final fight are not friendly when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I'm going to give this earring actually to Sharon because she doesn't have... Or no, she has Circle Sleep now, doesn't she? So maybe I'll give her the... Maybe I should give her the armlet just because, I mean, she's already got Circle Change, so she's got status immunity there. And incidentally, I should also give the armlet to Arthur because he's got Circle All, so I guess we'll just give those to them. There we go. And yeah, so that'll help out a little bit there. And then we'll just replace the earrings with ribbons once we get them. We'll be good. Let's see. So we're holding on to this. And I might as well leave that up there because it's going to be used in about 3 seconds when I go see Shar. So let's go here. We'll mix up... I think, like I said, I think it's fire and air. No, the combination is no good. Air and fire. That makes fire X, so we don't want that. Fire and water? Yeah, there we go, Lightning X. That's what I want. So let's make that for Arthur. Awesome. Any other weird combinations that'll make things for me? That makes wind. I already got that. That makes life A. So you can make a few things, and again, you get enough crystals to make one of every spell, but I don't really need to worry about that too badly. Okay, let's take Flood off. We have Life B, and that's just for safety, really. Arthur's probably going to be, of all of us, besides Sharon and maybe Curtis, the tankiest of us. He's the most likely to not die, basically, from random things. But we're all in pretty good shape, really. And I mean, even Gloria, who's not the best for what we need right now, she'd probably be better off if she was in Anubis as well. But, yeah, I mean, if we're, you know, keeping everything unique, that's pretty good. I was going to give him Lightning X. Okay. So there we go. And then sell those off. I can keep Flood and Wind. That's fine. I'll just leave those there. So sell the Scarf, sell the Plume, and then that's about it, I think. Let's get some tents and we're good. Can you make like a speed glove? No, mirror glove. Okay, well we don't need that then. Power glove will do just fine for us. Borgin will be a little slow, but that's fine. He was going to have about, I think, 101 agility by the time he was done. But yeah, no big deal. And we're just going to hold on to all those crystals. We don't have any more fire crystals, but that's no big deal. I'll move the earth crystal down just because. And that takes care of that. Let's check the radar one more time, make sure we got everything. Yep, we got all of the units that we needed. So now, yeah, just buy tents, and then we're good. Buzzy. Last time, I'm going to check it in with you. We just need some tents, so we're in good shape. Buy up to 9. Hell, I'll buy up to 8 elixirs. Why the hell not? There we go. Might as well use a little of my money before we go, right? And is everybody healed up? Yep, everybody's all healed up. So now we're good. Let's, actually, I'll save when we get to Mount Goat. First, let's get there. And to be fair, it's not too far away. We just go over here and go over here, and I think I need to be on the bottom here in order to get in, so... Let's see if we can park. There we go. Hard to park this thing when it's flying at Mach 17. That's alright. Okay. So now let's save right here. And let's go confront Zagor and the water entity up at Mount Goat. Unlike most of the mountains in the game, this one's pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any branching paths. There's no treasure to find in this area. There's just healing pools. That, however, is not a healing pool. That is lava. Do not walk in that. It will not help you. If you can afford not to, anyway. In this case, I'm going to have to, but that's okay. There are healing pools around the mountain, though, so we'll see if we can find them. I don't need that one that was up there, though, just yet, because I could have gotten to it if I took a branching path, but we're fine. We'll just use the last healing pool that we find, and then we'll be in good shape. I think we want to go this way. So that's down a little bit, right? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think we want to go this way for now. I think the other way doesn't lead anywhere in particular. Yeah, see, I think it would have just led to that dead end over there. So. Well, there's a Hydra, so that's what the Hydra looks like if it's not Big Snake. So just in case you needed a visual example, there you go. Let's demonstrate all of our new spells on them, shall we? Let's just put them all to the torch real quick. Yeah, you can just dance on... I guess the Hydra is probably going to be the one that's most likely to live, but... Again, we unlocked Final Fantasy Legend 2 difficulty before when we got just the regular AoEs when we had Wind and Flood. Now we have even stronger AoEs, so is this like Final Fantasy Legend 2 difficulty on easy mode? I don't know. That one Hustler must have a lot of magic evade. Not that it'll help him where he's going. So yeah, don't worry about using up your MP. There's healing pools all over the mountain, and we've got plenty of tents, so we'll be fine. Especially since there's one right here. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. How do we get a little bit ahead? Do we go back on that other path that I took? I was just coming here for the healing pool, so... What's up, Borgin? What's that noise? Is my Game Boy going crazy? No, this is an emulator on the Switch. Something else is going on. What's happening? Somebody explain what's going on, but first we gotta get over here. Get to cover! Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, if they bomb the mountain to artificially terraform it, yeah, that'll help us. Would have assumed this was now Legend 2 New Game Plus. Yeah, that's pretty apt, actually. Oh yeah, we weren't piloting that. I mean, I guess Faye or one of them could have piloted it, but well, what's up, Borgin? Oh. Okay, then. So, you may recall previously that they mentioned that a brain was being used, a human mind was being used to pilot the Talon, and it's being used as its kind of like central processing unit. Arthur's father is being used, his brain was put in the Talon to ensure that it could move and do all the things that it does. So every time it's been attacking the enemy for us, it's actually just Arthur's dad protecting him and his friends. That's fucking ridiculous, man. This game is so crazy, I love it. Oh man, okay, so I forget which way we're supposed to go, but I think I'm going the wrong way, actually. Oh good, we're running into all the high-level monsters, so that's fantastic. I think we're supposed to go this way, actually, though. So now I think there is a branching path, but I think this is it. I think you gotta go up and around, and then it takes you all the way over. Basically, you want to get to about the north center of the area, and that'll get you... okay, well, this is definitely not it. And that'll get you to the castle itself. It's up on the top of the mountain, basically, which is north center. Maybe this way? It's a little roundabout, but... Watch this be like a dead end or something. Yeah. That figures. By the way, in case you don't have enough light crystals at the moment, there is a single light crystal that you can get inside of Goat Castle. But you would have to go all the way out of the castle and all the way out of the mountain in order to use it back on the Talon. And that's a big pain in the butt, so it's a good idea if you wanted to do all of the crafting that I did to just get, everything you need before you go and do that. Yeah, we'll start fighting things again in a little bit. And as a matter of fact, we'll start fighting things right now because we're inside of Goat Castle. Excellent final dungeon music. This is probably my favorite area music in the trilogy. It just has that final dungeon feeling to it, you know what I mean? It's so good. Like, I think Final Fantasy Legend 2 has the better battle music, don't get me wrong. The battle music in this game is great too, it's just not as good as Legend 2. But I think this game's area themes are a little bit better. And yeah, this dungeon music is fantastic, man. That is some good final dungeon music. It's super good. And again, it's a Game Boy game, and they really didn't skimp on it, even though it's a Game Boy game. They went all out with the soundtrack here. Okay, so you see this? This is an empty room. There are a lot of those in Goat Castle. I'm going to try to avoid as many of them as I can, if I remember where they are. So hopefully we won't have to worry about that. Okay, so all of the enemies we're going to be fighting from here on out are going to be basically the enemies that are practically the highest level enemies of all of them in the game. Main go-to in terms of damage, AoE attacks, and Mystic Swords. The Shoguns are weak to them, Anubis is weak to them, so yeah, if the enemies had access to Mystic Swords, I would probably want to be a little careful with Arthur there, but they don't have access to Mystic Swords, so we don't have to worry about that. And with Borghen here to deal 800 damage a pop, nothing should live. Everything will die, as long as I don't excessively miss with my magic, so... And if you need to do any other transformations, obviously you can get them here. But we'll just do the best we can. I think the last light crystal is right over here, if I recall correctly. This room is a little bit of a maze here, as you can see. It's got a whole bunch of floating platforms that you have to kind of platform around. You gotta do a little jumping here. There's a little bit of a jumping puzzle in this dungeon. It's not too substantial, though, so... It's probably about as hard as those strength puzzles were in... the one Southwest Ruins, was it? From not too long ago, a couple episodes back, but it's not substantial. You can get a ribbon if you go down this way, but there's actually, I think, you know what, I'll go do it. There's a way to get both ribbons, actually, if you go to the next set of stairs, but we'll get this one while we're here, because it's fairly easy to get from here, so. And then who do I give that one to? Probably Sharon. Arthur's probably going to be the last one to get a ribbon because he's already got Circle All, so anybody else that doesn't have Circle All is more in need of it than he is. Yeah, just do that and that. And yeah, I got a separate animation for the Masamune there to indicate that it's a katana, so that's pretty cool. I love all the little details that they have in this game. They really did a good job on all of that stuff. Also, Gloria has Circle Stone, so if she gets hit by Stone Skin or Stone Gas or anything like that, nothing to worry about, she'll just slough it right off. So. And really, we don't even need to fight any of these battles. I'm just doing it because, hey, it's the final dungeon, I might as well, you know. Okay, so we gotta go like that, then go down here. I don't think you can get to that other treasure chest that's up there just yet. I think you have to... see, there's another ribbon. I think you have to adjust the floor here in a minute in order to get to that other ribbon. So, this one, should I give it to Sharon or should I give it to Borghen? Who's got the better magic defense of the two of you? You've got really good magic defense, and you've got less, so I guess I'll give it to Borghen. Probably for the best. I think he has heal as well, so in case he gets statused or anybody else gets statused, now he's protected. He doesn't have instant death protection, though, so you gotta be a little careful if you're fighting something like a Shogun where they can use Dispel. or something like that. So just be a little careful. We'll be fine. Oh, yeah, hang on, just his stuff there. Yeah, as you can see, he's got everything that he needs. Sharon's in good shape. She'll have those immunities there, and she'll be completely immune to all statuses and take half damage from all elements in just a short time. I don't think I can get out of here without falling, can I? Let's see. Yeah, I don't think so, because I would have to fall right here, right? Eee! Well, it's okay. You just end up in the center moat there. We actually want to get to that section there where that portal is, but we can't get there quite yet. This staircase is where I want to go, though. Because if we go up here, there's a button here. Push the button, Arthur. Bah. And what does the button do? Well, if you go down here... So yeah, this is where the floor was. We entered in the bottom right there, that little section to the right of us and down was where we got the light crystal, and then the other ribbon was down from here as well. But it's adjusted the floor now for us so that we can basically... let's see, how do I want to do this? I want to go here, then go up here. Aha, there we go. So now we can get this chest a little easier. And there's our third ribbon. Fourth ribbon's not too far behind, though, so... let's give that to Sharon, because she needs the status protection. And now, everybody's status protected. The ribbon also increases magic by 5, by the way, just like you saw there with Sharon, so... It'll, it won't be useful for her, but it'll be useful for everybody else, so... I'll wait to use those, to get rid of those earrings. I'm probably just going to trash them, honestly. But before we go into this suspiciously square hole directly below me, let's head up these stairs so we can grab another treasure, shall we? But yeah, just assume, basically, if I don't go in any given direction in the dungeon, that there's a dead end over there. Or it's a staircase that leads to nowhere, something to that effect. And if we do all that stuff, we'll be in good shape. I'm going to let the game play itself for a second while I take a drink. Bah! But yeah, most of the enemies at this point... Wow, look at that damage! 2,800 damage. I mean, it was weak to it, but holy shit still. Yeah, most things in the game at this point aren't particularly threatening to us. We can just spam spells and kill them with them. I could even use Lightning X if I wanted to, but I used that already, so... It has the same animation as Flare. I'm not even going to bother with this one. Fire Fan sketchy, Venus sketchy. Not even going to bother. It is not worth it. So why did I buy 8 elixirs instead of 9? Well, if we go over here, there's another elixir here. I remember this dungeon pretty well. I think it's just that law of primacy and recency where you remember the first and the last things that you do in any particular activity. So in this particular case, since this is the last dungeon, I would remember most of the things about it. So let's use one of our tents now before we drop down the hole. Whee! And now we made it to the portal. Awesome. Uh-oh, electric fences. How are we going to get through that? We'll just jump over. It's just that easy. So yeah, after this room, the puzzle, quote-unquote, the jumping puzzles are basically over with. There's Removed. That's the most powerful cyborg in the game, in case you were wondering. I don't think we've encountered the most powerful monsters in the game just yet. That's probably further up in the castle somewhere. But we should be able to see them before we, get done. It's basically just one of the dragon-type enemies, like the baby dragons that we saw before, and then it's one of the gargoyle enemies that we also saw before, so... Nothing too substantial. And yeah, we should be like 22, maybe even... Or not 22, 32, maybe even 33 by the time we're done, depending on how much experience we get from some of the bosses, because there's one sub-boss in the area before we get to... the final boss of the game. Still haven't found Sol, though. I'm getting a little concerned about him, but... Oh, crap, I turned into an Ashma again. I shouldn't have been fighting! Okay, so that's actually interesting, though, because the FAQ for the game says that Anubis is on 3 out of the 4, transformation paths. So... It's also so Ashma is also a water elemental beast instead of just being an air elemental beast. It's air and water, whereas Anubis is earth and fire. So, okay, that's interesting. It actually helps now because that kind of fills in a knowledge gap that I didn't have previously. So, I will keep that in mind. Those stairs over there, I think you can use to get out of the dungeon if you want to go make stuff with that light crystal that we got. I don't need it, though. We'll go from there. And I think that one's just a dead end. So yeah, that fills in a bit of a knowledge gap for myself. I'll have to remember that. I've been thinking about writing an FAQ for the transformations in this game and submitting it to GameFAQs myself, just to, you know, because I'm filling in the knowledge gaps while I'm playing the game, it just seems like it would make the most sense to do that. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it yet or not, but we'll see. And yeah, unfortunately, Dance isn't getting the mileage that it had before, but that's just because the Mystic Swords are just better in most cases at this point. The enemies don't have enough HP to really last through all of that, as you can see. And Gungnir's not too bad by itself either. It probably does about as much as Wind-Up, yeah. So, that's pretty good. Gloria got a level up, so that means Curtis isn't too far behind. So I guess we could look for Beast Meat while we're at it, so we can maybe get Arthur back to his transformation. I don't know, we'll see. Might end up with Ashma at the end anyway. It doesn't really matter. If you walk through the electric fence, by the way, it's almost like a lava tile. It just does a little bit of damage to you, so it's really not that consequential. I just figured they're offering me a little bit of a jumping challenge, so I might as well use it, you know? Okay, there's the last ribbon for us. That'll give Arthur some extra magic defense, some extra magic. He's got really solid stats all the way around, and now he has basically circle all that he would have as an Anubis. I would just rather be Anubis, though, because I like the sprite a little bit better, so we'll get there. We can toss these earrings. We'll never need them again. And we'll hold on to everything else. I don't know what we're going to do with all those crystals when we're done. Probably just experiment with them and make a bunch of lost magic, but yeah, whatever. So that's basically our final setup. Ideally, again, I would like to have an Anubis before we're done with Arthur. But if we don't get it, well, we'll probably have it by the time we're into the final boss fight, or done with the final boss fight. This is not going to help me get an Anubis, though, so I should only fight beasts, basically, from now on, to ensure. Uh-oh. That guy looks a little mean. We should probably save to make sure that he's not going to viciously maul us. I'll use another tent, because, I mean, I've got a whole bunch of them, so I might as well. Okay, let's take this guy on, shall we? Are you Zagor? What the? Well, how are we supposed to beat the entire ocean? I mean, I guess that's kind of the point, isn't it? Like, the water entity was the entire ocean, basically, too. But apparently Zagor is... I mean, I guess that makes sense. Zagor created the water entity. He would have to be, you know, at least affiliated with it in some way in order to create it, but... Wait, what? Uh-oh. He's merging with Soul on the top floor? Well, that's even worse. We're gonna have to make sure that Soul doesn't fuse with him, because if he does, we may not be able to stop him. And, you know, before we get there, we're gonna have to go through this guy. So you, sir, are but a stone in the road before me. That's actually not true. He's actually pretty hard, so... We'll see what we can do, though. Okay, so first things first. Let me see here. How do I want to do this? We're gonna be buffing up, so I probably want to have Arthur helping out with healing while we buff up. I want to use Blitz on this guy. This is the first of two bosses where I actually want to use Blitz because it's actually going to be a little bit better for us. If I still had Numb on Arthur, I would want to use that as well because his physical attacks hurt, man. But I don't have it at the moment, so we'll just make do with what we have. And I'll just have you use Cure as well. We'll eventually buff up, but I just want to lower his agility a little bit before we do anything else. Ow! Yeah, his magic is pretty high, so that is going to make it a little bit... it'll do pretty good damage to us, that nuke, even though it suffers from split damage, at least as far as I know. But with multiple people using Cure A or just one person using Cure B, we shouldn't have too much of a hard time. So yeah, we want to lower his agility, lower his magic, lower his defense, and then we'll be in good shape. And then we can start buffing up. Probably do a couple of these, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to probably do a total of 4 for the final boss fight, because the final boss has a lot of, a lot of stats, basically. But, yeah, that Cure isn't really going to help us there. They did take it like champs, but unfortunately Sharon couldn't take some tail. So that's no good. Yeah, we want to reduce his magic because if I recall correctly, he has a really nasty magical attack that he can use. And, I mean, obviously, he's got Nuke, so that doesn't really help us either. Let's see. How about I use the Elixir on Sharon with Arthur? Well, he could use Fast, but that's probably fine. We'll buff him up with Fast. We'll buff up with Fast, and then... Do you have Fast, by any chance? No, you do not. Oh, you have Wall. I guess I could use that on Gloria in case he uses the nasty attack. I haven't used Wall ever in the game, so this is going to be a bit of a test. Ow! Okay, so Sharon has a little over 1,000 HP. Alright, cool. That'll help. Okay, so we buffed you twice, so let's do that 2 more times. Why don't you use Cure B on everybody? Although, actually, I think I would rather you use Blitz again, just to lower his agility a little more. If I recall correctly, he has like 120 agility, so he's really fast, and that's why we want to reduce it as much as we can before we really start blasting him. You didn't really do anything last turn, did you? I'm gonna have you use Cure A this turn, just in case he nukes us or something. Ow! Yeah, quite a bit of damage he can do. These last 2 guys are pretty difficult. Don't let them fool you. Just because you've killed everything all the way up through here, it doesn't mean that you, doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels. Okay, there we go. How we doing? Okay, so Curtis, you can Cure B. I'll probably Cure A with... Okay, so let's start buffing Sharon up. That's the point. We'll do a double Cure A with Curtis and Borgin, and then we'll just buff Sharon up, and while she starts attacking, we've softened him enough, so softened him up a little bit. Although if I miss, that doesn't really help me. But yeah, he's slow enough now to where we should go first in most cases. Gloria might go after him, but that's okay. Okay, even she's faster now. Well, he's defending, so that probably is why we missed. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see. I think I could use one more fast on Arthur, so I'm gonna do that. If I'm doing 5 here instead of the 4 that I said I would do, I apologize, but I think I can. I think I only did 3, so yeah, that'll help us. Now that we can actually start damaging things, that'll help a little bit. I just got to see how much EXP we're gonna get from this guy. Yeah, that's not really gonna help you, sir. Quake, rather. In this case, Magma isn't really going to help you too much. And we have the Selfix on most of our guys, so that helps out quite a bit. Okay, now that we've buffed up, let's just start attacking, shall we? Do a little Cure A. Why don't you just use Flare, Gloria? That's, I mean, probably not the best option. Well, it is her best attacking option, but yeah, it's not ideal. But we'll make do with it. Actually, I probably should have just had her using Cure A instead of what's it called? Instead of having Borgin do it, because he could probably do more damage with white than she can do with that. We have a host! I think it says Kurt Dog. Thank you for hosting the stream. I appreciate that. We are very close to the end, so that will be good for us. Well, you missed one of the people that is strong against Quake, but that's alright. And to be fair, Gloria can just self-fix all of that. We have self-fix on so many people at this point, it's just ridiculous. We shouldn't have any problems whatsoever in terms of keeping ourselves alive. So, yeah, we'll just have Gloria help out Curtis with Cure A-ing, and then we'll have Borgin do the magic damage. He's a mutant after all, so he's going to probably be able to do a lot more than Gloria can, even though he's not using Flare, so... Just got done with your own stream for now, figured to host someone. Well, thanks, Kurt Dog, I appreciate that. I appreciate the courtesy, my friend. Welcome to the stream as well. How you doing? We are almost done with Final Fantasy Legend 3. I keep missing. That's okay. We'll get there. I think, is it Balor? I think that's his name. Yeah, Balor. He's like probably about 30,000 HP, if I recall correctly. Something like that. I could probably use a Cure B because Arthur's looking a little under the weather. I'll Cure A as well. So he's pretty tough. And again, he's got that tail attack, which does a lot of damage, so... If we had Numb still, I would definitely be using it to lower his damage, but yeah, we'll be fine. And we're doing almost, 3,000 damage a turn, and with Borgin, if he hits with white, we're doing about 3,500, so it shouldn't take too long to get through him. I'm just glad that I had access to Blitz so I could lower his agility. That's so important. Like... him having that 120 agility, in this case, it's not too bad, actually, because then he'll just always go first, and then you can just heal it off after the fact, because we probably don't have 120 agility anywhere in our party. But with the final boss fight that's going to be coming up, they have exactly 100 agility. So if you have, like, in the 90s somewhere, he may go before a few of your characters, he may go after a few of your characters. It's kind of a little bit random, and it doesn't really help us at all in that case, because he could, like, go after all of your characters and then go before all of them in the next turn and kill you. So having access to Blitz here, really nice. It far outweighs the little bits of extra HP and stats that I would have if I had, what's it called? If I had removed, so. Now that dark virus that he used there, the ribbons that we have protected everybody except for Gloria, but that's no big deal. We can fix that without too much trouble. It's actually kind of a blessing if you have the ribbons and he uses that because, well, it doesn't really do a whole lot unless you have a monster in your party who can't equip ribbons or something like that. Since we are having Curtis cure that, let's have Borghen do a cure all, just in case. Although that's going to go off before Valor does his thing, so maybe I should wait to heal and just keep attacking. I'm so used to healing after the enemy goes because I'm so used to how it was done in Final Fantasy Legend 2, but that's okay. Yeah, as you can see, Gloria can be hit by basically, I think Dark Virus does about any status ailment in the game. It's can do any 2, basically. So that's not going to help her at all, but, I mean, it'll be fine. It's no big deal. If that's the worst that's going to happen in this fight, besides getting knocked around by Balor's tail, it's no big deal, really. Ooh, nice hit! 3,000 damage. All that fast is really helping. Okay, now we can heal. Because I could probably use it a little more. Those cell fixes will help in that department, though. How about I just cure A and cure A? That's probably good enough. And then do that. Usually you don't end up having a Borghen doing a lot other than healing in boss fights, so it's actually kind of refreshing to have him be able to actually attack. It's not too bad. Yes, that mighty blow did some big damage. Quite good, quite good. And if I cure A there, that'll give... So she'll self-fix 90. So she'll be at, like, what, 600? 531. Okay, that's not too bad. And, I don't want to do this. Probably just cure 3 her and then have her... I guess I could have her attack. Or should I have Curtis attack? Yeah, you go, Curtis. You smack him around with your defense sword that'll do, like, 10 damage. We'll just do this. And then, I guess I could psych him again, so he doesn't do as much damage with Nuke. But yeah, Nuke would be doing quite a bit of damage if I didn't psych him out already. So, been years since you last played this game yourself. Yeah, same actually. When I found out about the collection that they had on the Switch, I says, nope, I gotta play it. And I gotta play it now! It was just... I had to stop any other projects that I was thinking about doing, and I said, nope, just gotta play it. It's just that important. It's been long enough. I was planning on playing it for the stream at some point anyway. Whoops, that's not the right person. I might as well do it, you know? So that was my thought process. Alright, and we'll cure A because we're busy with other things. Yeah, by the end of the game, these enemies start having so much HP that it gets a little ridiculous if you don't have everyone using Mystic Swords every round, but we don't have that luxury, so... Uh-oh. Well, how do you know that from here? Are you, like, telepathically connected to him or something? Yeah, we gotta get up there before Soul has problems with that fusion dance that they're doing. Okay, I only need 226 experience to get to the next level, so if we run into any enemies on the way up here, we'll probably be there. But before we go up there, let's go over here and find a secret treasure, the last one in the game, a nuclear bomb. Well, I don't have to go buying it now. Here you go, Gloria. You can't use this, but have this nuclear bomb. I'd rather not keep it in my inventory, you know. I could have even given her an earring so that she has a little bit of class when we go into the final fight, but again, she doesn't get any benefit out of equipment, so I'm just doing that because why the hell not, you know? Okay, so, can I get an encounter when I need it? Usually you get it when you don't need it, so I need it this time, so I get out of Ashma and go to Anubis, so I'm looking all prim and proper for the final boss fight, but we'll see. We got a little bit of walking left to do before we get there, so it should give us enough time to get into a fight. There's a fight. We probably will need a total of 2 fights, though, to actually, you know, get what we need. Okay, so the fire fans are the biggest threat, so kill those. Use flare on everything. And then do that. The Venus can dance on us, but I think we'll be okay. We should be able to kill everything before Venus even gets a turn, so I think. The fire fans, I think, are the most important thing to kill, but we'll make it work. It's fine. We got enough agility, I think. Okay, it's not even using dance, so. It's still pretty powerful, though, as you can see. But, yeah, we'll be fine. We got rid of the big threat. No glow for you. No explode for you. Everything dies. And that's the end of that. How much EXP did we get? Okay, awesome. I'm back on Anubis. Perfect. Is everybody 32 now? No, not quite. So Curtis is going to need 376, and Gloria needs 32. We might get there. We'll definitely get there if we beat the final boss, because I think the final boss does actually give some experience. But, yeah, we might not get there before we actually get through this part. So I don't think this weird-looking water does anything to you, by the way, if you walk through it. It's just fine. I wonder if that's Soul up there. He looks like an old dude that everybody would trust with their lives. Okay, so we've encountered one of the 2 ultimate monsters. There's Seiryu, so that's the level 31 or higher monster that's... I think it's the fire and water elemental one. The earth and air elemental one is called Garuda, and it looks like the other gargoyle enemies that we've fought in the game, so nothing particularly that I care about. Excuse me. We've seen it all already, so... That being said, I'm going to annihilate them with Extreme Prejudice, so, you know. And I could be using a mutant at this point to do all of the flaring and the whiting and all the other stuff, but... I mean, we're already killing them without mutants in our party, so it doesn't really matter. And I mean, we already have Borgin, so that's enough mutants. 1 mutant will work. The problem, of course, is what I said before. At this level that I'm at currently, humans and mutants just don't have enough HP to really survive in these areas. If we were all like humans and mutants, we'd probably be in like the 700-ish range, and we would probably die to just about anything, so... To a light hit. I'm gonna get that last encounter. We've got some time, so... I'm gonna get that last encounter before we go visit Soul up there. And this, and that. There we go. Yeah, I know this game pretty well there, Kurt Dog. I've played it quite a few times in my lifetime, and I made sure I did a little bit of research before I did it for the stream here, so that I knew what I was doing. I found that a decent chunk of the information that was available online for the game was good, but it wasn't as good as Final Fantasy Legend 2. There seems to be a lot more information online for that one than there is for this one. So I figure if I'm going to play it, I might as well, you know, let everybody know this is how the game's mechanics work and everything like that, so that there's at least a decent source of information for everybody. That's some big meat. We don't need that. We would transform into something I don't want. I don't want to get off the Hydra, man. It's too good. Okay, let's use our last tent. We'll save real quick here. And it's the same thing as before. Don't walk into the pillars. There's that little section there. You can kind of see it like the pillar in Agron's Ruins. So, whoops. Wrong button. There we go. You'd make Soul wait after all he has done. I know. He'll be okay. That's what she said. Yes, it is. So yeah, I think we're all set and ready to go. Here's our final setup. Here's what everybody looks like. We've got, I think, the best equipment we can get all around. I don't think I forgot anything. I'm trying to think now. You know, there's the nuke on there. That's the most important part, of course. Because we'll definitely be able to use that. I actually got to give the ribbon to Borgin this time. I usually don't get to do that. And we're all level 33, so perfect. Probably will get enough EXP from this battle for Arthur to turn into Ashma again, but I don't care. It's fine. Alright, Soul, here I come. So, are you alright? Is he still fusing with you? What's going on? Do what, exactly? Do you... Oh, okay. So he's going to hold Zagor's soul within his body, and we have to kill Soul before Zagor completely takes over him, or the world may be destroyed. Nothing like a little pressure at the end of your RPG, huh? Alright, so he didn't end up being our 5th and final party member. Borgin ended up taking that role, and Soul was the final boss. Well, that's just great. The way that this fight works, he has a really huge amount of HP, but Zagor slowly saps it out of him every single turn. So it's probably a good idea to buff up before you really do anything else in this one. Get your fasts going, everything like that. Get everybody all buffed up. We won't be able to debuff him just yet, though. He has a second phase. Spoiler alert for like 2 seconds from now. So, yeah, I guess we'll just get everybody fasted up, and then we'll go from there. Do you have anything that I could really use? I guess I could use Shell. Do I really need to? Yeah, I mean, I might as well. It's not really worth it to attack him until you're fully buffed at this point anyway, so I'll just go across the party and give everybody 10 extra defense. That would be the only thing that I would say would make Borgin a little bit better in this game, is if he had access to fast, but he does not, so. Speaking of which, let's buff up Sharon. There we go. You can attack still, and you can shell. We'll just shell everybody. Use them buffs. I think his HP total, like his maximum, is like 60,000 or something ridiculous like that, but, well, obviously. He's he's slowly losing all of that, so that's not really going to help us at all. I might as well fast Gloria. I don't think she's going to get a chance to attack, really, once the fight starts, but, I mean, you never know. There might be a turn where I have a little bit of freedom and she can do that. So Sharon's all buffed up, Arthur's all buffed up, and Gloria's going from there. I'm trying, Soul, but I'm not buffed up yet! Actually, Arthur, you can start attacking now. We'll just have Curtis and Gloria finish the fasting. There we go. And let's see. I gave Curtis Shell. Let's give Gloria Shell, and then we'll give Sharon Shell, and then we're in good shape. Ooh, nice hit. Yeah, that 3,000 damage we get off those mighty blows is going to be pretty nice. If you fast everybody up, though, it stacks up to like 9 times. So if you get them up there, you're going to be doing like 2,500 damage a hit. It's pretty ridiculous, so... I might as well not waste any more of my MP at the moment. I can just attack at this point, because everybody should be all fasted up now. So we'll just wind up, do that, and you just finish the shells off, and then we'll be good. I hope. We still need to debuff him, but we can't do that just yet. First we gotta kill Zagor before he takes over his body. So... I mean, that's not too bad. That's more than you'd be doing with Flare right now, so... And, yeah, we might as well not waste your MP yet either. We'll be using it on white for the remainder of the fight once we get through this part, so... This part is scripted. Once he gets his HP down to 0, then it takes you to the second phase, so... Just do what you can. Unfortunately, he's really, really resistant to dying, even though he really, really wants us to kill him, so... Doesn't really help us. I mean, Zagor's helping us out in that department because he's sapping his HP every turn, but even with that, Soul is really strong. So, uh-oh. Hang on, Soul! Ah, hell in a handbasket. And now we have the final boss fight against Zagor, and his final boss music is just about as good as Save the World, frankly. Here, I'll let you listen. Yeah, Nobuo Uematsu said, you know what? I went all out for Legend 2's final boss fight. I should go all out for this one, too. Like I said, I don't think it's quite as good as Save the World, but I'm really biased there, so I don't know if I'm the right person to talk to about that. Okay, so, how are we going to do this? Zagor needs to be debuffed. We need to get his agility down, we need to get his attack down, we need to get his magic down, we need to get everything down with him, because he is his stats are through the roof. He has like 250 defense and 250 magic, along with 100 strength and 100 agility. The most important one, if you don't have the other ones, just make sure you get his agility down, because getting his agility down will actually allow you to fight him a little bit easier. So, okay, that barrier just gives him protection from, I think, weapons other than the Mystic Swords. So, and again, even if you get 0 damage off of these, it's still debuffing his stats. So that's important to remember. Hey, that's the touch effect from Final Fantasy Legend 2 as well. Most of these skills I've actually never seen before. So this fight is actually an experiment for me as well. I'm trying to look at all these fancy new effects that I haven't seen ever in the game. So his agility is lower than ours now, but I'm going to debuff it again just in case. I think once we've done these two, I think we're good now. I don't think we need to debuff him anymore, but we'll see how much damage he does with his spells after this. Because he has all the best spells in the game, basically. He has Flare, he has Lightning Axe, he has everything that can deal damage to you, and it's just not good for us at all. So, probably a good idea to just try to take care of it. I'll probably just have Gloria psych him out for a little bit, honestly, just to get his magic down as much as I can. Thankfully, we're all strong against Thunder, because I have Thunder protection on everyone, so this will still do a decent amount of damage, despite the fact that I have Lightning protection. Can you imagine how much that would have done if I had not had Lightning protection? Holy hell, man. I'm going to Blitz him one more time, and psych him out, and soften him one more time, and we'll just Cure A here. And then after that, I think I'll just psych him up, like, maybe I'll psych him out one more time after this, and maybe I'll soften him one more time after this. We don't really need to use Numb all that much, because he only very rarely attacks physically, so yeah, we don't got to worry about that too much. Psyching him out, though, is really important, because his magic is so ridiculously high, so... Hey, the Talon's here! Eventually. Ow! Now, aren't you glad I have 939 HP? And yeah, the Talon's here to help us out, so now every turn the Talon will use its attack on us. I guess I could have had it using the shield, but yeah, I don't think I could have gotten closer with Curtis's HP if I tried. Holy shit, man. Okay, we gotta Cure 3 him, and we gotta Cure 3 him now. That's ridiculous. But yeah, I think all of his attacks are magic-oriented, if I recall correctly, so yeah, you just want to do the best you can with what you got. But he should be slower than all of us now, so that will make this much more manageable in terms of healing, so... I'm just using Cure A for safety, honestly, just in case. Although Cure 3 heals 100% of your HP, so... yeah. He hasn't used Flare yet, so that's a little bit of a sigh of relief. On the turn he uses Flare, I'll probably have to have Curtis use Cure B and Borgin use Cure A or something, so... But yeah, all that self-fixing, really helping. Okay, now that we've done all that, we can probably start attacking him. Let's just have you use Cure A. We'll keep psyching him out with Gloria. So that's the main reason why you want the Hydra for this fight. Monsters aren't great in the final dungeon to begin with, but if you're gonna have one, you want to have the Hydra because it has Psych. It's just so good for helping out with the damage that Zagor deals. It's way too good to pass up. So if you're gonna use a monster, there's my recommendation. Use the Hydra. It's good. And Seiryu and Garuda do not have access to Psych, so... yeah, just in case you needed any other incentive, there you go. Okay, I think that's 4. So I guess we're going to leave it there. Yeah, that's actually pretty manageable. His agility's down enough to where we should be able to deal with that before he gets another turn. So, okay, so it's Cure B. We will Cure A right here. Yep, there we go. Keep attacking, and then you can use White now. So now we could actually have Borgin attack again. White will still deal a good amount of damage, even though he has that barrier up. So, because it's non-elemental, so it just ignores any barriers that he has, which is pretty nice. And that's about it. The fight is basically guaranteed now. I've freed us. Because with us doing all the things that we're doing here, it shouldn't really... Okay, he still has Dark Force, which will still probably kill somebody at some point, but That's fine. As long as it doesn't hit Gloria, we'll be okay. And I actually have an idea for what I'm going to do with that. Let's use Cure B. And then you use Wall. Here comes the big brain strat. I want to see if Wall blocks Dark Force. I have no idea if it does. We're testing for science. Let's see. Okay, so Cure B isn't really helping us there. But that's okay. Use that, and then Gloria should attack before he... Yep, there we go. Oh, Gloria repulsed the attack! Awesome, so what does that do? So 0 damage, and it hits him? No, it just completely nullifies it. Okay. I'm actually fine with this. I actually think I'm just going to keep doing that. We can cure A, and that'll take care of everything for us. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to keep doing that with Gloria, so... Because it worked, so... Yes, for science, indeed. It worked. That's all I cared about. I don't know if it works on Dark Force. That's what I really want to see, is I really want to see him use Dark Force on Gloria while she has a wall up, to see if it ignores the wall. I don't know. That's why I want to find out. Okay, well, that's going to do 0 to her. Fantastic. Talon's still attacking. I don't know what happens if the Talon kills him. I'm not 100% sure if it can, actually. But, I don't know. We'll see. And, with Cure B going, do I really need to heal with you? I don't think so. We'll live on the edge a little bit. It's fine. He's slow enough. I should be okay. And, I mean, I'm not even worried about if he's faster than, like, Gloria or anybody like that. Curtis has, like, 115 agility with his current setup, so as long as he's faster than that, we'll be fine. Okay, so it does not... Wall does not protect her from Dark Force. Okay, got it. Good lord, man. He just said, no, fuck your wall. That's hilarious. Oh, this game is so much fun. I'm having a blast playing. I had a blast playing these 3 games, to be honest with you. Like, Legend 1 was a little bit of a pain in the ass in some cases, but I had a blast overall, so. Oh, man. Okay, so Lightning X will hurt a little, but we're strong against everything. Let's see if, Actually, well, Gloria didn't... She had fasts, I think, but she's not really attacking, so it doesn't matter. Alright. And let's keep going. Excuse me, I could even have you use Flare, honestly. Do a little bit of damage while Gloria heals us up. Or I could have her continue to use Wall, and then you can just use Cure A. That seemed to be working okay, because then she can't be damaged by anything other than Dark Force, so... And if it wasn't for the fact that I had that rule in place where I said, nope, I can't debuff the boss past -4, I would be having Gloria use Psych every single turn, because it would lower his magic to the point where I basically don't even need to heal every round, so... Hey, Ghost Hand, you're just in time for the final boss fight. Welcome. JRPGs ended much more forgiving than what they used to, except Shin Megami Tensei. That Toreador can fuck himself. Ow! Yeah, I'm really glad I have the HP totals that I do. If you had a human or a mutant, you would not survive. Arthur lived that on 6, so... yeah. This one's not too bad. If you do the debuffing and everything that I just did, it's really not too bad, this one. This game, that is really not too bad. Even if you don't do the debuffing, you could just use a whole bunch of elixirs to finish the game off. And that'll, it'll get the job done as well, but... I figured I'd make it a little more interesting, you know what I mean? I'm always looking for ways to spice these playthroughs up, and this is a spicy meatball that we have in front of us, I think. I'm just waiting for the part where it turns into a larger Cthulhu monster, because I'm sure that will happen sometime soon. It depends, though, because we got to get through a whole ton of HP here. He's got like 50,000 HP or something like that, so it's a long fight. It's going to take a bit. I can Cure A this. We don't really need it. We're pretty well topped off, but it's fine. Getting that attacking Borgin. You won't see this too many other places on YouTube. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. People probably use Borgin to attack all the time, and I just haven't seen it. Usually people, at least from what I've seen, have him just cure Aing every turn instead of attacking, but I figured, we're losing a little bit of offense anyway because Curtis and Gloria don't have Mystic Swords, so I figured I'll just have him help out. Because him and the Talon are doing about as much as a Mystic Sword would do otherwise, because the Emperor and the Durendal don't have as high of attack as the Excalibur does. So they're doing about the same amount of damage between Borgin and the Talon there, so. But before long, we should have him done. He's, you'll know when he's getting close to death. There's a visual cue when he gets close to death. Kind of similar to Apollo, but less nightmare fuel, if you can believe it. I know, this is a Cthulhu monster, and his visual cue for death is less nightmare fuel. It's just mouths. All the mouths everywhere. Yeah, I find that to be less nightmare fuel than when Apollo just melts in front of you in Legend 2. Like, that's scary, man. That's almost as scary as Jorgendir in this game. Holy hell. But, yeah. But he's getting close. Nice hit, Sharon. Good shot. That'll get us a little closer. And yeah, the only thing that you'd really have to worry about, let's say you did all of your transformations similar to me, but you decided to give removed to Curtis instead of, or whoever your cyborg is, instead of keeping him at Parago. You just have to be concerned with the amount of agility that he has, because sometimes he would go first, sometimes he would go last, sometimes he'd go in between. So that's why I like Virago for the final boss fight, even though it's not the best cyborg. I've mentioned this already, but just having access to Blitz to lower his agility and make the fight a little bit freer is very nice. And I think, again, it's more interesting than how it otherwise would be, where he could just be killing us some turns. Thankfully, that won't be necessary, because we just melted Zagor. Right on! Oh wait, wrong game. And yeah, he gives some experience, so Arthur's going to be an Ashma at the end, but that's okay. Everybody will level up from it. Now we're all level 34. Awesome. Oh, go grr, it's somebody else. Sorry we couldn't, you know, save your life there, Soul, but... It's me, God. God is a little Amish man on the Game Boy screen. Oh wait, that's the wrong game too. Okay, well, I guess it all worked out for the best. Soul's gonna stop the water entity, and that means that all of the dimensions will be saved. Perfect. I wish it could have been done a different way, Soul, but, I mean, if this is the best we're gonna get, then I'll take it. So, is the Pure Land gonna disappear? There are kind of a lot of people that live here. Okay, maybe they'll just all go to sleep for a while until Final Fantasy Legend 4 comes out. That's probably not gonna happen ever. Maybe they referenced this in one of the other Saga games, I don't know. I haven't played any Saga games past this, so... Oh look, we morphed out of Ashma. He's back to his old self, Arthur is. Yeah, the real dimensional stability were the friends we made along the way. Well, there goes the Talon. I guess my dad blew up with the water entity disappearing. That kind of sucks. But at least we got out of there. What about all the people that were up there? Hopefully they all got off the ship as well. Did we do a splash landing? Not bad, heroes. Saved every generation that ever lived. That's a little better than... Well, I mean, to be fair, in the last game we saved all of the worlds, so... Yeah. It's a good thing I kept that float spell, huh? Now we can actually float back to Viper City. Perfect. Belsky, Dion kind of died again. Jupaya might also have died again. In case it wasn't obvious, I should mention this. It's not going to let me stop the text at this point. Jupaya was Arthur's father, so that's why we couldn't find him, because he was there all along. He was inside of the Talon 2 the whole time, so... And, yeah, Belsky can restore them with just tissue cells, which I'm going to guess Borgin kept some. I mean, he is a scientist, so I suppose it makes sense that he would just have tissue samples in his pocket. I don't know, ask Dion when you bring him back. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna need it this time, Belsky. I just love how he messes with Dion every time he brings him back from the dead. That's just great. That's a good question. Where do we go from here? All the dimensions are saved. Yeah, I guess we could go back to the present and live our days out in peace, so. Yes, we will. We'll meet again in about negative 15 years, so. Yeah, did you bring him back too? Oh, okay, cool. Let's go see him then, shall we? And yeah, he looks exactly like Arthur, so that's just great. I don't know how he's not having some uncanny valley things here. The idea of restoring your being with just tissue samples is a terrifying concept. Is it even you? Yeah, that's the question that I've posed previously. It's that Star Trek concept where when they turn into molecules to get beamed up and down to a place, is it still them? There have been conflicting opinions on whether or not it is or isn't still them. So it's a topic that I don't think I'll ever have a satisfying answer to. Also, apparently Jupaya is going to name his son after Arthur. So, is that grandfather clause? Did we just break a time travel rule? Because he's going to... Well, I don't think so. If he's just going to name us after ourselves, I don't think that breaks the rules. I think that's a loophole, actually. So, well, anyway, we need to ask Dr. Quaser for a favor. Oh yeah, we kind of need to get back to the present now that the Talon's gone. We can't really do that now, so... And we don't have the units anymore either to get back to the past, so I guess Dr. Quaser's gonna have to just use the stuff that he has to figure it out. I mean, it's fine. He's one of the best scientists on the planet, so he'll be fine. Got all these other scientists to help him too, so... Well, Borgin, it's been fun. Well, I mean, that's a thought, but, well, it's not going to be that soon, Arthur. There's still a gestation period involved, but I wonder who Arthur's mother is. I don't know if we ever find that out. Jupaya knocked somebody up, that's for sure. Well, anyway, Borgin, having been like a father figure to us when he sent us back in the past, he's glad that it didn't mess us up too badly. As a matter of fact, it worked out for the best, so that's good. And until the time when the time machine has been created, I guess we'll go head back and hang out with Myron for a little while. Back in New Dharm. Yeah, can we stay at the inn for free? We kind of just saved every dimension that ever existed, so I think that's worth a few stays at the inn. Oh, what you got, Myron? Ah, the simulator. Did you get it up and running again? It's been years, man, since we played this thing. So he took a page out of the Talon's naming thing and he named it Simulator 2. Oh, it's harder than number 1, huh? Oh boy. And the game ends just like it begins, with us fighting against some crazy-ass monsters with Myron by our side. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, though, if New Game Plus was a thing at this point, it would have been fucking nuts if that was your indicator that you were going in a New Game Plus mode. Like, if they played the credits and then they got here and then the game just started over from there, holy shit, my mind would have been fucking blown. But I understand why it didn't happen. And to be fair, this game is incredibly innovative for its time anyway. It has substantial amounts of replay value with all the different classes that you can play as. It has really high-end graphics for the Game Boy. The music is phenomenal. The gameplay is fun. It's really good, okay? I've said before that Final Fantasy Legend 2 by itself is worth this collection, but you also get Final Fantasy Legend 3 basically for free there, and it by itself is also worth the collection. So if you haven't picked this up, I wouldn't necessarily say it's worth it for Legend 1. It was kind of a little Legend 1. I mean, it was good for its time. It was how Square tested the waters for the Game Boy. But, yeah, Legend 2 and Legend 3 are where it's at, man. If I had to pick between the two of them, I think it just would depend on which one I've played more recently. But normally, if I'm trying to be objective about both of them, it's like picking my favorite child. I just couldn't do it. But yeah, really solid game all the way around. You don't, like I said before, a lot of people on the internet have said, well, you know, the game's not that great because you don't ever have to actually mess with the class change system in the game. And I'm like, Yeah, but that's so boring. Like, why would you not mess with the class change system? It's what makes these games, you know? So I'm glad I got to mess around with it, and I'm glad I got to use a monster in the end game too. I've never done that before, so it's pretty nice. It's been a solid playthrough all the way through, I think. And it's been very enjoyable. I've enjoyed playing all 3 of these games, frankly, with the exception of some slight hiccups and bumps in the road with Legend 1. All these games were a lot of fun to play, so I'm glad that I got to present them to all of you. Yeah, it would have been a trip, Conker. Oh my god. iDivine Cybermancy has the time and dimensional travel as the context for New Game Plus. Nice. Yeah, I like when they do that. They sort of use the in-world, they use something that already exists in the world as a means of saying, this is how you're doing New Game Plus, or this is how you're, traveling across long distances. It's not just click on a point on your map and you go there. This is how you do it. So I've always appreciated when games put in the extra effort to give an in-lore reason to how you can travel to places. Even if it's just like, a teleport spell. Still, you're using the magic system to let people move around quickly, you know what I mean? Or you use the mechanics that are already available in the game's world to give an in-universe excuse for something that would normally be entirely mechanical. So I always appreciate when developers go to that extra mile to do that. And I'll bet you, if they had made this game a little bit later, they would have put the effort in for that, because Chrono Trigger came out like 2 years after this did, and they got a lot of concepts for that from this, I think. I think this was almost like a test drive for some of the concepts they were going to use in Chrono Trigger. And this game influenced a lot of different things beyond just Chrono Trigger. A lot of the things that you would see from like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, some of the later Final Fantasies, you can see some roots and influence here, as well as other Final Fantasies that came before this, of course. But I don't know. I like to believe that these games were fairly prolific in how they allowed the company to make other games beyond this. And to be fair, they're also pretty fun to boot, so even if they aren't, still a lot of fun to play. So, but that's going to do it for Final Fantasy Legend 3, the Stream Edition. I hope you've all enjoyed it. But before we say goodbye, let's head back to the main title so we can check out the 100% completion reward that we get for beating the entire collection. It turns the screen gold. And that's it. I mean, that's fine. Like, I'm not expecting anything else, but that's just how you know that you've beaten the entire game. So, yeah, there you go. And I might as well play the credits because, all of these people did a whole lot of important things there. While the credits are playing, since we got a couple extra minutes before I finish this off, I guess I could do a little bit of a compare and contrast to all 3 of them, huh? Yeah, Legend 1, like I said, was pretty rough around the edges. I thought that the story of it was fairly interesting, but that's about all I think was particularly solid about it, especially in context to the other 2 games. Like, if you had just played Legend 1 in a vacuum, then you might have thought things were pretty interesting, but when you compare them to Legend 2 and Legend 3, especially in the gameplay department, I think Legend 1 kind of lacks in that sense. And even like the music department and stuff, it's not bad, it's just not great. You can really tell that it was a test run for Square Enix. They were testing the waters to see what they could and couldn't get away with on the hardware. But with that being said, it was amazing to me that they were able to do everything they did in Legend 2 in like a year's worth of development. I know it's a Game Boy game, so it doesn't take long to develop, but yeah, Legend 2 is really, really solid. It holds up well, even to this day, as a pretty solid little pocket RPG. And it still holds up that name because you can play it on the go with the Switch now, because it's on the Switch. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Music is great in Legend 2. Like I said, I think that the music in Legend 2 is probably, at least the battle music, is my favorite in the series. The field music, I think I got to give that one to Legend 3. It's probably got the better area music of the 2. And to be fair, it's no slouch in the battle music department either, but I think it's got the better area music. And the battle music is just a teeny little bit less, but that's completely subjective. Like, you could make an argument for either of those games being good in those departments. And again, that's pretty much how it is for both of them, really. You could make an argument that Legend 2 or Legend 3 are better in really any department. I think that Legend 3, the only real gripe that I have with Legend 3 is that the best part about it, which is the customization and the class changing and everything like that, it really doesn't get good, or at the very least it isn't efficient to play the game that way with doing all the class changes until you're about halfway through the game. Well, not halfway, it's more like a third of the way through the game. So there's that period of time where you play it, and it's the same as it always was, you know what I mean? Now, if you haven't played it for a while, that's fine, but repeat playthroughs might get a little stale as you work up to that. Now, you could be smart and just keep a save point at that point when you're planning on doing the changing, or you could suck it up and not be a bitch like me and just play with the transformations from, like, level 1 and just deal with it. I guess I could have done that, but I decided I wanted to be efficient with it because I was efficient in Legend 2, so I wanted to be efficient here as well. Now, with that being said, I think that in Legend 2's case, you can still make a gripe with that because its battle system often ends up being fairly similar with repeat playthroughs as well, because magic is so overpowered that you end up wanting to focus on that, and if you're not focusing on magic, you want to focus on agility. So, yeah, I think Legend 2 and Legend 3, there are some small issues that I would say with their battle systems that I would consider, you know, revamping or improving a little bit, but really, that's like nitpicking, frankly, compared to the good that the games have in them. So it's really just, it's just me digging, you know, trying to really dig in and say, well, if we want to be completely technical and really go in depth with it, this is what I would do differently or do better. But that's really just that's a nitpick. I can completely and fairly admit, yeah, it's a nitpick. It's not really something that I would really care about. Because the games are great as they are, honestly. And that's the end of the credits. Awesome. Yeah, the games are phenomenal. All three of them are worth playing, if only to play Legend 1 just to see where Legend 2 and Legend 3 went. And then beyond this, there's also the rest of the Saga series. I think, if I remember right, Romancing Saga is the next one in the series. So if you enjoyed these, especially Legend 2, because Legend 2 is really the baseline formula that they use for a lot of the Saga games beyond this, might want to pick up the rest of the series. I don't know. But I would say for the 15 or 20 bucks that I paid for this particular collection, well worth the money. You can play these on emulators, but I figured I'd pick up legitimate copies, you know, so that way I'm not getting in any trouble with anybody for some weird redistribution thing. Although, to be fair, I could still get in trouble for this because this is technically redistribution, but whatever, it's fine. Not important. What is important is we are all set and all done. We have completed the Final Fantasy Legend Collection of Saga Trilogy. That was not how that works. It's Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend, and I hope you've enjoyed this playthrough of the Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend. I quite enjoyed myself, and I'd like to believe we made it a lot of fun, and at least fairly interesting, I think. We went over a lot of mechanics, but I'd like to believe that the explanations were adequate, and the fun that we had outweighed the boring lecture stuff that I did, basically, because frankly, by the end, I probably sounded a lot like a professor or something. I don't know. I just know a decent amount about these games, so I figured I'd share my knowledge with the world while also playing it for the hell of it. But yeah, it was fun. I hope you enjoyed. And that's going to do it for me for the Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend, the Stream Edition. Next time, which will be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be starting a new game. Can I give you any hints about the new game? Yeah, actually, I have an idea for how I can give you a hint about the new game. So here's my hint for the game for tomorrow that we're going to be starting. The primary color of the main character of the game we're going to be playing is somewhere on this screen right now. I know that's cryptic as hell, but that's all you're going to get until tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the next stream when we reveal the new game. So, until then, everybody, thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And until then, or whenever I see you next around the internet, I hope you will take care and have a good one. Man, this was fun. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad they came out with a collection. It's so nice. Nice that they can celebrate these sorts of anniversaries, you know what I mean? I know that probably not a lot of people asked for this, but I, for one, appreciate it. So, good job. You did a good job, developers.